just me and Galopin against the elements. But you can't fight the elements. You've got to adapt. I had to take hold of the helm here. Sure, the autopilot would hold steady, but I felt I should take charge of Galopin. He was like a powerful horse that needed a confident rider to channel its power. Waves grew as the wind gusts increased. I took hold of the helm and stood firm behind it. From there, I had a good view of the rolling sea ahead and what came from behind. I started to guide Galopin to go with the waves, taking his 10 tons of inertia to glide with the momentum of the swell. My skiing instincts were activated, and the sea was just another slope molded with moguls. It was a strangely familiar feeling for me. Riding the sea with Galopin at that moment was just a real joy, like gliding through virgin powder snow. The waves would lift us up to their crests, and we would coast down their slope with the sound of the boat cutting through the water. It was bliss in absolute proportions. Cape lived up to its reputation of whipping the wind like that of a lion tamer. I wasn't here to tame the sea. I was here to ride it with Galopin on our journey south. We made it around Cape Craves. I admit I was intimidated before going. I was afraid of what I was told about the sea, but then the anticipation of what was to come was far more frightening than the actual thing. We just did it, as the slogan says, and now I can just do it. This is what I've been working for all this time. So this is it. Managed to dock in here on my own, in reverse. Then I got a t-shirt on and took off my long underwear because when I left Port Lookout, it was 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was cold. The sunrise was just spectacular, and just the rays beaming on the Catalonia mountain and Pyrenees. It was just spectacular, awesome. I just absolutely love sunrises. It's just incredible. You know, everything went pretty well, pretty great. And at one point, I furled up my Genoa and motored for a while because there was no wind, and I wanted to keep a steady 6-knot pace because that's what we had planned with Daniel and Christophe Bix. And then all of a sudden, it started kicking ass, man. It was just fucking amazing. It was wonderful, beautiful. I thought I'd be scared of 30-knot plus winds, but this was just absolutely incredible. This boat was surfing the waves. I had my Genoa unfurled full, you know, all the way out, and I was just So now I'm in Spain. It's in Estartit. Check it out. I did it. So, and it's already like, it seems like 5 degrees warmer here. I'm already feeling like I'm, look, I got new shoes on. Yes, I got a t-shirt. This is fantastic. All right, so next stop, we'll see what it is. I'll plan my route tonight. Try to upload a video and see if I can make it to Barcelona. Otherwise, I'll make one more stop before I get to Barcelona. So there you go. Winded Voyage is now really seriously on its way. Galopin, me, and going south. Just a few degrees south, but we're going south.
Pretty interesting conditions. Definitely over 30 knots of wind today, and the swell is building up. But I think once I get past around that cape, that point, it should calm down a little bit. I'll be sheltered a bit from this wind. But I had to get going, otherwise I was going to get stuck here. Tomorrow I think they're calling for rain, or tomorrow's another good day, and then it starts raining and stuff, and the wind is from the south, and I'll be beaten into it. So I'm taking a chance to just do it, and this is wonderful. Eric the Viking, how do you like that? This is not just fucking bullshit, this is just sailing. Yeah.
I did hesitate a bit before going, but Galopin was moored in reverse and the wind was behind us to push us out of our berth easily. So I went for it. The weather forecasted 30 plus knots of wind, and it was about 20 when we left the marina. I let out just a bit of Genoa and just kept it from ballooning. As I was crossing the bay, the wind increased. I felt like I was falling down a slope, the momentum building. There was no turning back. The wind gusts would scrape off the surface of the water, sending shards of the cold, salty sea like sparks off a steel grinder.
Pretty intense. I think I got carried by about a couple 4-meter waves. The wind at one point picked up. It gusted at over 40 knots. And Galopin has been holding steady. It's incredible. 44, holy shit. All right, this must be the corridor here, right around the this cape. I'm gonna have to be careful.
The waves were growing, growling behind me, breaking in front of me. I could see they were bigger and more furious up ahead. They had been building up many miles north and whipped around Cape Bagur. Was I afraid? No. I couldn't allow myself to be afraid. You can't be afraid riding a horse. They sense it and doubt your confidence and abilities. This raging sea would do the same if I lose control to fear and panic. I held strong, guiding Galopin in a swell. It doesn't look so fierce here in video, but believe me, it was. The wind meter indicated more than 44 knots. I was crazy to be out here, but I was. I had no life jacket on, I know, but if I fell in, there was no one to rescue me, so it was useless. I should have worn a harness, but there was nowhere practical to clip it. I'd get all tangled up and it could make matters worse. As it was at that moment, there was no way I was going to let go of that helm until I got around that cape and out of those waves.
Okay. I think I've seen the worst of it. And it wasn't that bad. I think I topped at around 44 knots of wind. So it was pretty intense. Now we're down to 19 knots, and I think it comes down here because of the coast. So pretty cool, pretty beautiful sail, man. Good test for Galopin.
It seemed I'd seen the worst of it. The waves were gone. They were building bigger and bigger out to sea. But the wind came back with more ferocity, across the flat landscape and from the side. Galopin got pushed around a few times by the bullying gusts. I'd let out more Genoa, and we hit speeds close to 10 knots. I knew the wind would eventually die down, that the landscape would tame it. But when? It just went on and on. Well, the wind died almost instantly. Then changed directions. I hoisted full sails and finished at close reach, totally comfortably. I'd made it to Arenas-sur-Mar, where I'd been with Beeks a few months earlier. I have so much more confidence now backing into a mooring. Galopin isn't so hard to manage in a port. I just have to handle him gently and with care. And he moves his 10 tons gracefully. He and I really got well acquainted today. We both had to trust each other. He did remind me of some of those big, strong horses I've ridden. When they freak out and go off, you have to rein them back in with all your might and confidence. I think Galopin accepts me as his navigator, his master. I think he trusts me to guide and control him. And in return, I trust him unconditionally. I think we're going to make a really good couple for our winded voyage together.
Mooring successful. Not great, but not bad for a one-person dude. And for a beginner still. I'm getting it. I am really getting this. And I like it. It's fun. Just gotta straighten myself out a little bit better. And we're all good. Yeah. Barcelona's just a little further away.